Okay, so finishing up number 5, C, it asks to use the 0 to find all the zeros in the polynomial function. Okay, so we found 1 0, so now it makes it a lot easier because this is what we have left. So this is just going to be my constant. This is going to be 0x, and this is going to be 7x squared. So I have 7x squared minus 63. So I can actually go ahead and try to find the other zeros. That's one of the zeros that works. I can use this as 7, 0, negative 63, and I can go ahead and try something. You can factor this. You can find anything you want as far as like you can go ahead and find the square root of it. You can, by using completing the square, you can use quadratic formula, or you can continue to go ahead and use the method we're using. If you're using this method, and let's say I try 1, for instance. 1 is not a factor, so this will not be 0. But if it's 0, remember it is. But I'm just going to remind you what it looks like when it's not a factor. So this, remember, is not. This one just shows how it does not work. So 1 times 7 gets you 7. 0 plus 7 is 7. 1 times 7, again, gets you 7, when obviously negative 63 plus 7 is not 0. And so this shows how it is not a factor. So if you go ahead and continue doing the work, you can, again, you can finagle the different aspects of this and where it works for you in the 3 different methods that I just mentioned. But when you do, you end up getting 5 or 7, 3, and then also negative 3. And those are the answers that you're going to get. And I'll show you how to factor this. I think that's really the easiest method. If I take a 7 out of here, I end up with getting x squared minus 9 equals 0. And then that's just going to be x plus 3, x minus 3. And so that, to me, once you can factor it, that's the easiest method. So if you can factor it, do the factoring. Okay? All right. Number 6, let's solve for x. Okay, for this one, I look here, and it gives me a really big hint. It has a 7 here. And so if I look here and I see 343, and I say, oh, okay, here's a 7. So 7 to the what power gets me 343? It doesn't always work that way, but we've made the numbers make it work easily for you. So I say, okay, what's 7 times 7? 49. Times another 7. That's 343. So I have 7 to the 4x minus 5 is going to equal 7 to the 3rd power. So because I'm saying 7 to the 4x minus 5 equals 7 to the 3rd, then obviously whatever this 4x minus 5 is has to equal the 3. So I have 4x minus 5 equals 3. So if I add 5 to both sides, and I get 4x equals 8, divide both sides by 4, and x is going to be 2. Number 7. Solve the following exponential equation by expressing each side as a power at the same base and equating the exponent. So the same thing we just did. I look at 4 and I look at 16. And I say, okay, is there a commonality in there where I can express one as the other one with the same base? Well, obviously 4 squared is going to be 16. So I have 4 to the x plus 8 equals, instead of 16, I'm going to write 4 squared. Okay. So again, same thing. I have the same base, so obviously this here has to equal this here. So x plus 8 has to equal 2x minus 8. So x plus 8 is going to equal 2x minus 16. So therefore, I get, subtract x from both sides, and let's add 16 to both sides. So I can get the numbers on this side and the x's on this side. And it doesn't matter which side I put it on. I just thought it looked easier because the 2x minus x naturally gets an x. And then x, or 8 plus 16 is 24.